guys, welcome back to FKJ's Loud Thoughts for the week, and I hope our week have started on a very good note. If you are new here, I am Kenda and I film about faith, lifestyle, motherhood, and every good stuff in between. And you're a returning subscriber, you already know how I feel about you. Thank you so much for stopping by. And if you are coming across my video by chance or somebody shared it to you, please subscribe, like, share, and everything that you can do to make this channel grow. Please just do it for me. Thank you so much. So this week I'll be talking about faith and femininity. So I'll be speaking directly to women. It's not just married women, whether you're married, you're unmarried, you're single, you're professional, you're a full-time stay-at-home mom, and whatever thing you are doing, generally if you're a woman. So now I'm just going to be talking about our connection between our femininity and our faith. Were we just created for being created sake? God just say, okay, in heaven, let us create a woman, and he just created you and left you there? No, there's definitely a connection between your faith and your femininity. There's definitely a reason why God created you to be who you are. You are God's perfect design. God intentionally looked at you and created something. So it's not that you are just there for being there. If you are feeling like you have not been seen, if you're feeling like you have not been heard, if you're feeling like you have even lost it, I just want to tell you now that you are seen, you are loved, you are called. God created you for a certain purpose. When God was intending to create you, he looked upon the earth and he saw, oh, there's a gap, and he needed somebody to fill it. That's why you are created. So let me just put it out there. So it's not in whatever you are doing, it is in your being, like BEING, like who you really are. So firstly, who are you? If somebody asks you, who are you? And I'm going to be asking you the question because aside in your doings or in the roles that we take, in the roles that you take as a wife, or the role that you take as a mother, or the role that you take as a professional in your workplace, or the role you take in your community, or the role you take in your church, who are you really aside all of this role, aside all of the doing that we are doing, everyday doing, and various capacity that we occupy? Who are you? And the first one I would like to tell you that you are a daughter of the Most High God. You are a child of God. You know, in the book of Jeremiah, the Bible told us that God told Jeremiah, before he formed you, he knew you, he already knew him. So before God created us or formed us, he already knows who we are. So you are a child of God. And in the book of Ephesians, he told us that you are God's masterpiece. Do you know what it means to be a masterpiece? Oh my God. It means like an artist just designed something for a specific purpose. It's not something you will find everywhere, like one of a kind of thing. So just put that there, like you're one of a kind. There's no two you. If your name is Bidemi, or if your name is Bidemi, let me look for a surname now. Bidemi Adesoya. I don't know anybody like that, man. Just coining the name. Let's say your name is Bidemi Adesoya, or your name is Jane Lancelot or something. You are not Bidemi Adesoya or Jane Lancelot because it's just a name, or it's just because you are one of a kind. There's no other two person that can be like you. For example, I'm Kende, and there's so many Kende in the world, but there's no Kende like me, if you get it. So you're one of a kind. You are God's masterpiece. He went further to tell us that you are wonderfully and fearfully created. You know, he looked at you after creation and he said, this creation is good. This creation is beautiful. This creation is perfect. You know, so you are a child of God. And he went further to say you're a royal priesthood. You are a holy nation. You are a peculiar person. Hey, you are called out to show for the praise of He who has called you out of darkness into his marvelous light. So anytime the world is telling you that, oh, you are not enough because of your stature, is it that you are too big or you are too small? Or they are telling you because, oh, you are not hustling enough, or because they are telling you you have to go hard, you are too soft. Whatever the world is telling you and describing you to be, or would not to be, I don't know how to put it now. Is it that they're telling you who you are supposed to be or who you are not supposed to be? But the bottom line and the thing that's supposed to be at the back of our minds as children of God and as believers is what God is truly saying about us as women, and what God is truly saying about us as children of God. So secondly, I just want to tell you that Being a woman is not, you're not a second tier human being. You are not second hand, you are not lesser than a man. Being a woman is a gift that God has designed to give you as a woman. Your womanhood is not about limitation. It's a reflection of another aspect, another dynamics of God. If we are seeing the dynamics of God in men in an aspect, the women will also to reflect God in another aspect. You know, God is all encompassing. So if God has decided to create a men in certain light and okay, let them express the creator in that light. God is also creating women that we should also express him in another light. So we are not second tier human beings. We are not second class citizens of God. God did not create us less, but God created us in such a way that everybody would demonstrate him and reflect him in the way that he has created us. Let's talk about some women in the Bible. For example, let's talk about the courage of Esther. Esther was a woman in a patriarchy economy, or in a place where women didn't have a voice. We saw the courage that she took and led to the deliverance of the children of Judah. Have you thought about Deborah? And now the prophet was saying that if a woman does not follow him to war, he was not going to go. Have you thought about her leadership skill that must have made the prophet to say that if this woman is not going, if the warriors, sorry, were saying that if this woman is not going to go to this war with us, we are not going to go. Have you talked about Ruth's loyalty that God had was and made her in the lineage of Jesus? Have you talked about the surrender of Mary? So all of this thing does not make us less of human beings. It just shows us that if men can carry this assignment in this role in a particular way, women can also do it in the other way. So being soft or being feminine does not make you less of a human being, if you get what I mean. Your softness is designed for that purpose. Your sweetness is designed for that purpose. The fact that you are not loud does not mean that you cannot lead. Leadership is not about being loud. Do you get? So God has, or the fact that you are not, how do I put it now, muscular, does not mean that you are not courageous. Having muscles and being muscular does not lead to courage. So God has given us our own strength under those tones of house, um under those characteristics he has placed in us. He has given us that strength. So as women, we are not second class human beings. We are not second tier human beings. Our womanhood or our femininity is priceless, and I want us to hold on to that. Also, thirdly, I like to put it out there that if you're a woman and you already have a child, so you're already a mother, know this. Like I already said, you don't have to be loud to lead. But motherhood is also a calling. It's a calling into a leadership position. God has given us this position, and it's a beautiful one. In as much as it's beautiful, I know that it can be very stretching and you can be very tired and exhausting, and you feel like you have poured out all your strength in doing this thing, but it seems like I've had it up to here today. Just know that you're in a leadership position and God has given you that grace. He told us to train up a child in the way that he should go. And when he grows up, he will not depart from me. So God has given us that responsibility as women. I know when he was talking in Proverbs, he said, our children rise up and call that blessed. When he was describing the Proverbs that one woman we always all want to be. So even after she has, the woman that the children called blessed is a woman that has exhibited the characteristics that God has given her. She could lead without being loud. You know, she was loyal to her husband. Um, she surrendered to God, and we could see all of this character. She was courageous. She could do things um that she could do things that how do I put it now? She could do things that were bold, and even that could cover her and her household, not just her alone, but you will cover her and her. So when I'm talking about motherhood, I'm not talking about only the children that you have given birth to. What about children that probably a teacher, the children that you are teaching in your school, or the little children that look up to you in your community, or even if you have not had like biological children, what about spiritual children that God has given unto you as mentorship? So let's look at all of these ways and embrace our womanhood in all of these aspects. As women, we are mothers, not just only to the ones that we conceive in our bellies, but to the ones that the society has given unto us, to the ones that your friends and your neighbors has given to you, to the ones that you are training up in your church, to the ones that are looking up to you as mentors, to the ones that are looking up to you in your community and say, oh, one day I want to be like this woman. Because the truth is, a lot of people look at you and want to be like you. Even when you beat yourself up, that like you feel like you're not doing it so well, a lot of people look at you and really want to be like you. As women, as mothers, people are looking up to us, irrespective of what the situation may be, irrespective of when you feel like you are not putting it together. People are looking up to you and say, ah, you are trying, you are doing well. So I'm just trying to encourage you not to give up. That even though if it's not the children that we have bettered with our tummy, it should be children that God has placed in our care, even in our community. And to know that motherhood is a calling, and it's a calling to leadership, and it's not just my birthing of children. Also, I just want to tell us now that we should embrace our purpose. We should embrace our femininity. We should embrace our womanhood. God did not just create us to exist. We are not just created to just, you know, be in the numbers. 7 billion people in the world. We are not just created to be in the numbers. God has created us to impact. He has created us to live a life of impact. And this impact and purpose is not something that we keep chasing all around. It is something that we discover and we uncover when we are dwelling in God. So one of the first reason, or the first way to actually know what God has created you for, or know why God has put you on this earth, is to walk with God. You know, when you walk with God, it begins to reveal and begins to unfold who you are to you and the reason why He has created you here. So you don't need to live a perfect life to be on purpose. All you need is to live a life that is in God, a life that is willing to yield to what God has said in and out of season. So whatever platform God has given you, if it's your kitchen, if it's your office, if it's your church, if it's like YouTube like this, if in whatever way that God has given you, just find that place to intertwine your faith and your femininity together. You are not less of a woman because of what God has called, or what God has called you, or what God has not called you not to do. If God has called you to fulfill purpose in the kitchen, do it wholeheartedly. If God has called you to fulfill purpose on the pulpit, do it wholeheartedly. If God has called you to fulfill purpose in the marketplace, do it wholeheartedly. Just know that your femininity is a powerful tool in the hand of God. Your feminine side is another expression of God. If God has decided to express Himself in males, He also wants to express Himself in females. So if we are seeing this an aspect of God on the men, we also want to see another aspect of God on the female. Sorry, on the female. No, I didn't say female. Oh my God, on the women. That is why God has actually created us and what He has created us to be. So I'm just going to encourage us this week. We are going to rise up as women with our heads high and our shoulders squared, knowing that God has created us for His purpose. We are not second tier human beings. We are not second class citizens of heaven. We are children of God, and we are going to be walking in that purpose. And last, I just want to remind us, let our identity be found in Christ. It is not about your doings, like I said. It is about your being. So I'm going to be praying that, Lord, for every woman that is struggling to embrace her femininity, for every woman that is struggling to stand in the place that you have called her to be, we receive grace this week to walk in that light. We receive grace in this week to walk in faith and in purpose. We receive grace this week to embrace our femininity like you have called us to be. So I just want to pray. I prayed for you now, and I pray that God Almighty will bless us this week. Have a wonderful week ahead. Cheers and bye. See you. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, comment. Thank you. Bye.